Hi, welcome to Lydia's Kitchen. Today we are going to be making something called the Schmutz. However, this one is a sausage roll. Looks like this. And it has been so popular through my life. I've been making it since I'm 19. A friend of mine told me about it, and I've done different variations to it. Today I'm going to be making a vegetarian one. I'm bringing it to a friend's house tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and start making a dough. However, you can make your own dough, which is what I'm going to be doing. But through the years, I've also used frozen bread dough. I've also used crescent rolls, the kind you pop. So it's up to you. This can be as simplistic, or you can make it a little bit more homemade, complicated, if you want to. I'm making it more complicated now because my life is less complicated. So now I've been doing it from scratch, making my own dough. So I'm going to go ahead and
knock, knock. Lydia, are you home?
Somebody's at my door. Hi.
Lydia, what is
Sarah.
that smell?
I'm so glad to see you.
You too. I was just in the neighborhood doing a smoke detector install with your neighbors.
Oh, really?
So, yes. Have you heard about our program?
No, I haven't heard about it. Tell me about it.
Well, we are going door to door in some of the communities or the neighborhoods here and installing smoke detectors for those that don't have them, need them, or are past their 10-year date. Did you know that smoke detectors have a 10-year date?
No, I didn't. But
Okay.
That is really good information.
Yes, they are only good for about 10 years.
Okay.
And after that, they can stop working or they can malfunction, things like that. So we're trying to make sure that everybody in Oxford has working smoke detectors. So this smells amazing. What are you making?
And you can have some. You can try it. You can absolutely try it. We call it the Schmutz. That one's a sausage roll. And Schmutz does mean dirt. So if you're going to look up the word, that's what it means. But it's not. There's
Sounds
no dirt
amazing.
anywhere in it.
Well, show me how you make it, and I'll tell you more about my program.
Okay, so I was just saying that I'm making my dough from scratch. So you don't have to. You can use frozen bread dough.
No Pillsbury for you, huh?
No
Okay.
Pillsbury, no. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I have heated up this water. It's not hot, but it is warm. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into my bowl. And this dough does call for some sugar. Not all doughs. This is a half a cup.
So is it a sweet dough?
It's weird. You're going to taste it, so you can tell me.
Okay.
But it's not really like, oh, this tastes like a pastry.
Okay.
It's just gives it a nice flavor. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, would you like to help me?
Oh, sure. I'm here to help you as you need.
So what we're trying to do here is just dissolve the sugar a little bit. That's hence the water being warm. And then this is our yeast. So half a cup of water, two cups of water, half a cup of sugar, and then this is a tablespoon and a half of yeast.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Which one goes in next?
This is the yeast. We're going to put that. Just go ahead and
All
keep
right,
stirring.
so stirring my sugar and my water.
Yes. And then we're going to go ahead and put that in. So now you can stop stirring.
Okay.
Just scrape the sides just to get the yeast back in
Sure.
there. So we're just going to wait a few minutes to let this kind of see what happens here.
Okay.
Like a little chemical reaction kind of happens with the yeast. You know what? Let me
How
just
long do
borrow
we
that
wait?
for a second. Just for a few minutes.
Okay.
So you were installing.
Oh, yeah. So over at your neighbors, I was installing their smoke detectors were really old from when they built the home. And they just said that they've never really thought about changing them. It's just something they really don't think about.
Yeah, that's really good information. I never thought that I
Yeah.
needed. I thought, well, and when you say changing them out, you mean getting brand new ones?
Brand new ones. So you are supposed to check your batteries monthly.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it every 6 months or so, but you're supposed to definitely check your batteries. Get yourself on a system checking them. But these actually are 10-year batteries, so you don't have to. They're good to test every now and then, but we don't have to.
10-year batteries.
Yes.
I didn't know. Well, that works.
So after 10 years, you just take the whole thing and you toss it. It's not only
Gotcha.
just the batteries that go bad in these. It's sometimes even the sensors, the smoke sensors and things can become old and just malfunction. But yeah, we got grant money from the 4-county community foundation, and then local businesses, organizations like the VFW and the Legion. They donated quite a bit of money to us as well, and yeah, it's a really great program. And not just smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors as well.
Okay.
So those are
used to have one.
Yeah.
I might not have been in this house, but
yeah. Well, if you don't have one, you should get one, or let us know. We can definitely come in and help you with that and install them for you.
Really?
So it takes, it's really simple. It takes about a half hour. We'll just kind of go through and make sure that you are all up to date on them, and that
Oh yeah, what's the cost? Is there?
there is no cost to
What?
anybody. Yeah,
Well-
there's no cost. Like I said, it was all donations and grant money.
Grant money. That's
So
awesome.
yeah.
Really good.
So spread the word if you know anybody that,
Yeah, I
that
will.
hasn't changed them out in 10 years, or maybe can't afford them, or we're here to just help out the community, make sure everybody has them.
I will
So
do
Safety
that.
Starts at Home. That's the name of the program.
Safety starts at home.
Yeah.
Anywho, all right. So now our water is starting to get a little bit bubbly. That means the yeast is starting to, for lack of a better way to put this, eat the sugar. That's really what the sugar is for.
Oh.
It feeds the yeast. So now I'm just going to add my other ingredients, which is a teaspoon and a half of salt.
Is this where I'm supposed to be stirring?
Yes. Good idea. One sec. Here you go.
All right, I'm going to stir my salt in.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we have, how much do we have? Half a cup of oil.
Okay. What kind of oil is this?
You know what? I used olive oil.
Okay. Can
But
you use any?
Yeah, that's a good question. You really can use any. Sometimes people will say, don't use olive oil because it gives it a flavor, but
Yeah.
it's a nice flavor.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and use that. Just go ahead and scrape it from my,
Sure.
see, we're just doing this teamwork here.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then the only other ingredient is flour. I get my flour from a mill in North Dakota.
Really?
So, yep.
They just ship it to you here?
It's so wonderful. I order 25 pounds at a time,
Okay.
and it comes in a day. I'm like, oh, it's here already.
And you just like the way things turn out with it? You like the
Well,
flavor?
I've
or-
been making sourdough for a while.
Okay.
So I make it every other week. So that's when I decided, you know what, just buying the small bags.
Right.
So now I buy 25 pounds at a time. So this is bread flour. However, you can use all-purpose in this recipe.
Okay.
But for my sourdough, I always use bread flour.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead. So this is going to be, we're going to be adding about 5 to 6 cups of this, but we're just going to do it slowly. This is so helpful that you're stirring
Hey!
while I'm doing this, so that's cool.
That's what I'm here for. What
Yay.
are friends for, Lydia?
Right, that's true. Maybe I can go down your pole or something.
Well,
Wait, do you have a pole?
we
at the
don't. They've got rid of those years ago. Safety hazards.
Never mind. Oh, really? They
Yep.
did?
Trust me, every time somebody visits the fire station, though, that's what they look for. The
Yeah,
staple.
I'm trying to
That
think.
and our Dalmatian that we don't have.
Oh, you need a Dalmatian.
Oh.
Okay, that's 2. We can't mess up here.
Okay,
2.
2.
Yeah.
And how many are we doing again?
Well, 5 to 6. We'll
Okay.
see how it goes.
Keep going.
And then I'm going to knead it. And yeah, you can just kind of scrape the sides as you go. Have you ever made bread dough from scratch?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Nope. Only bread I've made has
3.
gone into a machine.
Oh, you have a bread machine?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I actually
Yep.
bought one. I did buy
Really?
one, and I don't know. I guess I felt like, why do I have this again? So I stopped using it. So we're on 3.
I just found that I couldn't eat my bread quick enough when I used that. It molds so much faster than whatever you get at the store.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. But
So I was like day 2 or so. I
then
was, oh,
But then it tells you how many preservatives. Hello.
yes,
Which
exactly.
is what I'm avoiding is
Oh,
preservatives.
exactly. Absolutely.
So
Are we still counting?
4.
Okay.
I was just thinking the same thing. 4. Okay, getting hard. You let me know. I can take over anytime here.
Oh, no.
To stir.
I got this.
We have a lovely audience in the background that are making us laugh. So what's the difference between all-purpose flour and bread flour? Boy, I wish I knew the answer. No, I do.
I was going to ask you that, and I didn't want to ask you if you didn't know the
no.
answer.
Some people have done that to me before. Oh, you know what? You're actually doing a really good job. Thank you.
Thank
Scraping
you.
the sides. Now you can go home and make your husband homemade bread.
Hey, he would love it.
Okay, that's 5. I'm only going to put half of it in because I know it's getting hard to do. And then we're going to transfer it to this lovely thing, and
Okay.
I'll knead it out.
Does that need some flour on it?
Good idea. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. Ooh, that's looking good. I'm going to add a little bit more, you think?
Sure, I think so.
Okay.
That's probably good right there.
Go. Okay. The difference. Bread flour has more protein. It uses more of the husk of the wheat. So it's not whole wheat, but it uses a little bit more of the husk. So
Do you want me to transfer this out?
yeah, I think I think it's looking good.
Okay, I think so too. Look
you.
at that.
Oh, Sarah's cooking show.
Found a new career here.
Yay! Okay, I'll take that.
Don't tell the chief.
Do you want me to knead it?
Oh, what? Yeah, why don't you show us how you do it?
Okay, I'm gonna just do a quick rinse here. And if you think you want to knead some of it, you're welcome to wash your hands there.
If I feel the need,
If you feel the need to knead,
I'm gonna get the flour and stuff off.
you
my
might
hands.
feel the need. Anyway, so now this recipe said to knead this for quite a while. I'm going to actually using my stretch and fold thing that I do with my sourdough. They always say if you say kneading on the site I'm on, my sourdough site, they're like, it's not kneading, it's stretch and fold, which is this and then over. So I can tell that this is going to definitely need more flour because you can see how moist it is, you know. So I know it does. And you know, that's really from experience too, just to feel the dough and know when you have enough in. So we are going to be back in a few minutes. I'm going to continue doing this, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to use to fill it. And we'll be right back. Welcome back. Sarah's still here with me, which I'm very happy about. And I just wanted to show you, this is the dough. We kneaded it for a while, and we're going to let it sit. It's been sitting now for about a half hour, so we're going to let it sit for about another half hour. Just so you know.
So an hour total.
Oh yeah, and then there's this. You don't forget this if you're going.
Oh yeah. That's gotta go with me.
And I was going to ask you, I have a question.
Sure.
Who qualifies for the program?
So all of our Oxford residents qualify for it. We are trying to target lower income, elderly, disabled. Those everybody qualify. Everybody in Oxford, if you're an Oxford resident, then you qualify for the program. So, and if you're interested in it, all the details, all the contact information will be in the credits. So if it's something that or if you know somebody, please have them reach out to us because we are trying to make sure that safety begins at home. That's the name of the program, and we really mean that. So if you know somebody or you yourself have old smoke detectors, let's get new ones in there and make sure that you're safe.
Definitely do it. I know our house, we've been here 12 years, and I know we haven't changed it. So
yeah, absolutely.
So that's really good information.
And not just smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors as well. So
I'm gonna look into that.
Yep, we'll do both of them for you.
Do those plug into the wall?
So they actually will just screw right into the drywall, just kind of like a smoke detector does.
Oh, okay.
So, and those are 10-year batteries as well.
Very good.
Yeah, very good.
Would you like to try the Schmutz?
I would love to try the Schmutz before I get going.
Yay. Okay, well, I'm going to cut a few pieces here, and we will get it going. This is what I'm just going to show the camera what it looks like inside. So this one has cheese, onions, and sausage. So here's for you. Unless you'd rather have like a inside
Oh, it
piece.
doesn't matter. Which one's better?
I don't know. Everybody has a preference.
Let's go with the inside piece.
Inside. See, you have a preference.
That way it's got more sausage.
Smells
in it.
good, yeah.
It does smell good.
Smells really good. Oh, you can see on this piece too, all the sausage. And I want to demonstrate how you put it together.
That is amazing.
And I swear it's the dough too that makes it so good. So I have some people in the audience that aren't here, but I want them to try it too. Oh, this might be a good one.
Everybody gets a piece. This is kind of like Oprah. You get a piece, you get a piece.
You get a piece. Anyway, I have some bags too if you guys want to take it home, whatever. Just going to cut up a little bit here. So I will bring some of this to my friend's house tonight too, because not everybody's vegetarian, but a lot of them are. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate my vegetarian one.
Very good. All right, Lydia. Well, I will get out of your kitchen. Thanks for having me by.
Thank you so much for coming here. If you want to put it in a baggie, take it.
Sure.
If you want. Don't leave my plate.
I won't take your plate.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start the vegetarian Schmutz. That's the name of this, Schmutz. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got a lovely cucumber that I got from a neighbor. This is from actually like a local farm I got it from, but they gave it to me. So I'm really excited about it. I'm not going to use sometimes I use the food processor to slice things really super thin but this is so simple to cut up. I'm going to go ahead and just use my knife. So before I start, I'm going to turn on my stove. Talk about safety. I'm trying to keep my towel away from the flame here. I'm going to turn it down a little bit, but I am going to use some olive oil to saute my veggies. Again, this is a vegetarian. You could put in whatever you want. You could use whatever cheeses you want. With this, I'm using a cheddar cheese, like a sharp cheddar cheese that I grated earlier with my new food processor. My other food processor just decided to die. Darn it, I had to get a new one. So it's kind of exciting for me to get a new one. So again, I've been making this for a long time, but done different variations. When my friend showed me how to make it when I was 19, she told me about the frozen bread dough. I've watched the frozen bread dough go up in price through the years. It used to be so cheap. I think you got like 3 different loaves frozen. Now, it was like, $1.50. I think now it's like $3.50. So that's why I thought that's another reason to just make my own. I'm going to use mushrooms. Now, my friend, the host that's having this party, she does not like onions. So typically I would be putting onions in this, even for vegetarian. It just adds another great flavor. But what she doesn't know can't hurt her. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I am going to put onions in. But I'm going to put in these dehydrated onions, chopped. And I really like these a lot. I use these a lot. Buy this at Costco. Usually buy 2 at a time. So I'm going to add that in a few after I cut up these lovely mushrooms. Again, you can use any ingredients you want. I think asparagus would be super good in this if you wanted to add that. And I did this one sausage, but you could absolutely use a different type of meat. I don't know. I've always used sausage. I personally have never eaten this when it's made sausage. And my friend who's vegetarian, Dar, I should say her name, she's always said, Lydia, make it the way you like it. And because I've known her since I was 28. And she's always saying, oh, make it the way you like. But I never had through the years. So now I am. Now I'm making it the way I like it. No, I think we should be good. So I got this on high, should cook up fairly quickly. I'm going to go ahead and stir it. And at this point, you can add some of your herbs and spices. I feel like I want to add a little bit of basil, but I don't have it in my house. So I'm going to add, I do have this thyme, but through the magic of TV, I have helpers who might be able to get me some basil while I'm adding this thyme. This is thyme from my garden as well. I think I've showed this little trick before. This is the thyme. This is actually, I've had it on the counter over here for a couple days and it's dried on its own, so it's nice. It's nice and dry and you just take it off the stem like that. So I'm adding that. At this point, wait, I got more. I'm going to add a little bit more. Also, if you like it spicy, this is a great time to add red chili flakes, pepper. I'm going to add a tiny bit of pepper. My friends do like spicy, but I'm not adding chili flakes. I actually don't have any right now. But I will add a little bit of pepper here. Thank you so much. I now have some basil to add. And then the other thing at this point you would do is add salt. However, instead of using salt, I'm going to use something different. I'm going to use these liquid aminos. Love this stuff. I think I've showed this before. but it's very salty, so, and it is very similar to soy sauce, but it doesn't have any soy in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of that on there. And again, anything you can think of that you like, you can add to this. This should cook up pretty quickly here. I'm going to rinse this, and now I'm just going to make sure I don't have the stems. Just going to chop it up a little bit. And then we'll have a little basil flavor. Oh, I just had a brainstorm. Wait, I'm going to do something else. I actually do have some basil, but what I did a couple days ago, hence the reason there wasn't a lot out on my plant, is I took all the basil and I made a pesto. I'm going to add some of my pesto to this. So that will give it a great flavor. And if you don't know what's in pesto, I have Parmesan cheese, pine nuts, basil, and olive oil in my pesto. You can use any nuts though. You can use any kind of nuts you want. Okay, where is it? So this is what I typically do, and you can freeze these too. These actually sealed, which is nice, but I just put it in these little jars. And then when I make a sauce or a filling of some sort, I have my pesto. It smells really good. So I'm going to add some of this. And it's nice because it's kind of like solid, and then when it gets in here, it will loosen up. So get that going. Trying to think how we should do this. You know what? I'm not going to use that. Okay, I pretty much cook my veggies like almost, pretty soft for this. You don't have to do them all the way soft, but typically I do. Oh, that might be too loud if I put the fan on. So my veggies are cooking, and they're not quite done, and my dough isn't really risen to where I would like it to be. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back, and I'll show you how to assemble it. Thank you. Welcome back. I'm very excited. This has cooled down a little bit. On the camera before, I did not add my dehydrated onions, but I did add them. She'll never know. No, she's had it before. And it does taste really good with that pesto in there. Super good. So that's nice and cool, because I'm going to be able to handle that. My dough is ready. It's looking good. It's warm. I actually have my oven preheating. Normally when I'm in the kitchen, without being filmed, I'll have my fan running in the summer so that my kitchen stays nice and cool. So before I throw it on here, I'm going to put a little bit of flour, which is right here. I'm so organized. I'm not really used to that, being so organized. Everything at my fingertips. Anyway, so that's going to go on here. Washed my hands. So this is our beautiful dough that we made. Oh, this is so soft. This is really beautiful. So this worked out quite perfect. You can see the shape. This is actually the shape that I need, because we're going to fill this, but we do it in a specific way. So we roll it out like this. This dough is so easy to work with. Some doughs I've used, they can be sticky, or if you end up putting too much flour in, it's not right, but this is actually pretty perfect. In fact, it's so big, I'm not sure it's going to fit on there, but we'll make it fit. So now that it's rolled out, this is what we do to assemble. Very lovely dough. Great recipe for, if anybody ever wants details on how I make things, please feel free on OCTV to comment on Facebook, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. If I can be helpful, I would love it. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to start, we put it in the middle like this. You know what, actually, now that I have this rolled out, I'm feeling like I actually have too much dough, so I'm going to cut it I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. So I can use this dough for a million things. We can make a bread with it. I can make another one. But because I could make it into Schmutz bites, make little ones, that would be awesome too. But you know, if you have too much dough in something, then all you feel like you're eating is dough. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. It will be fine. This will be just fine. Should I have done it before I put the filling down? Why, yes, I should have. But I didn't, so it's okay. Just gonna stretch it out a little bit here. Again, we're starting this in the middle. And I can tell you, when I first started making this, how many times I started it on the side and had to move it all over to the middle. So that's a really important thing to remember, is to start in the middle. And everything looks cooked nicely, and it will cook a little bit more in the stove. Here's my grated cheese. Just gonna go ahead and put that on. And then the next thing you do is you just flip over one side. What? Oh, I need some more cheese right here. Is that the right place? Oh, okay, good. And there's, I think you're over there too. So now we're just gonna take it and we're flipping it like this. And during the break, the cameraman and I had this brainstorm. The next time I'm not gonna make the dough on camera unless somebody says, please do that again. But I'm gonna have different fillings. We're gonna make it sweet. So I have my peaches from my peach tree that I'm going to use. We're gonna make 2 sweet ones. We're gonna make 1 apple and 1 peach. So this is where your layers, if you noticed in the one that we cut, which is right here, it has 2 layers. So you can see that would have been too much dough. I think I've used it all. I think I've gotten every last bit in. Yep, more cheese. And then we flip it over. Again, you can use whatever you want. Now, this one has 2 cheeses because I had Parmesan in my pesto. So that's in there too. You wanted to make it dairy-free. There's some really good alternative cheeses now in Trader Joe's. Also, I actually found another one, smoked Gouda at Meijer's. And it's really good. I eat it a lot, so I've tested it a few times, and it really is good. So you can see how much dough there still is left. So then we just flip it over like this, and I kind of just try to seal it up a little bit. I gotta say, this dough is so much easier to work with than the refrigerator dough, so if you do the extra and make your own dough, I think you're gonna find it easier to work with than refrigerated dough. So then the next thing, I had a little bit of, I took an egg and put a little bit of water in there, and we're just gonna put that, you know what, hold on. Put this on here first. The flip. Okay, so then it's here. Put this on.
How long do you bake it, Lydia?
So now you're gonna bake it for about 30 minutes, but I add something really pretty that makes it pretty. Can you guess what it is? Well, this makes it pretty too.
Sesame seeds.
Yes. So I will add the sesame seeds. I have definitely undercooked this. You think it's done because it's all brown, but then deep inside, if you use too much dough too, that can happen. It wasn't done. So there's that. I bought these sesame seeds. I just simply mixed white and black sesame seeds to make it pretty. So there, oh, Zoe's calling. She calls it Daisy. Is that Zozo? She's calling you? Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you come back and see how we make the Schmutz sweet. See you next time. Thank you.